Alright, hello everybody. I'm not actually going to be casting right now. I'm actually going to be giving a demo of a wilderness survival map for StarCraft, or for Warcraft 3. Wow, I almost said StarCraft. Because I want to recreate it for StarCraft 2. Um, and mine's going to be very similar to the version I'm going to be showing right now. And then um, maybe I'll go into the other one so I can show you what's up with that. Because I do want to have a player against player and a player against nature mode. So I want to have both so that you either get like, oh, you're up against all the other players and it's a free for all. You got to go kill everyone using the things around you. You know, nature itself. You know, things you craft out of nature, stuff like that. Which is what the first one is based off of. You pretty much run around, kill everyone. I modified it so I could play it single player, so I could show you a couple of the features and things about it that are really cool, that I really like about it. And then the other one is player against nature, and it's basically just survive for 30 minutes. In the version I want to make, in the against nature mode, I want to have a set of difficulties, which will pretty much just be defined by how many items are on the map, how many hostile creatures compared to passive creatures there are, and just how fast your stats degrade, type of thing. I'll get into that a little bit more later on. But yeah, let's jump into this first game here. Let's see. Yep, here we go. Loading up. Loading up. Now in this one, I mean, in Wilderness Survival, if you're not used to it at all, if you haven't played any of the Warcraft 3 maps for it, you pretty much run around, collect items, and craft things like a fire to keep warm. You can craft a shelter to rejuvenate some energy so you can sleep in it, type of thing. And then and then you get food so you can regenerate hit points. Hit points, of course, will degrade by if you attack a wolf or something, and it fights back, then it's gonna your hit points are gonna go down, obviously, because you're in battle. But it also slowly goes down as time goes on, just because you get hungry. So you replenish that with food, and so when you're in battle, you can collect food and do a little bit better in battle. So there's that aspect to it as well. So yeah, let's start the game. Let's remove the overlay. Alright, so difficulty, I'm going to choose easy. Now in hard mode, your energy depletes like crazy, and on easy, you also get a lot of items. You get, as you can see, there's a lot of things around the map already. Now on this map, it doesn't actually tell you what the recipes are for the buildings. I'm going to make it so that you can see the recipes probably in the help menu, just to help newer players. But in this one, you have to wander around and look for the handbooks, which give you things like vine equals nets, ice times 3 is igloo, bone, horn, sulfate crystal, shotgun. That's a little bit more advanced stuff. The shotgun, I mean, that's more like, it's going to take a while to find all the different stuff, and then the ammo for it and all that. So that's a little bit later on. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and look for items for a fire. Now in this one, you use a sulfate crystal with the heat of the sun combined with moss to start the fire, and a stick to keep it going. So I do want to have this same kind of fire thing, where it does take those 3 things to make a fire. And then actually it's 4 things because it requires daylight. But in this one, if it isn't day, if it's nighttime, you can't build a fire, and if you haven't built a fire already, you're gonna die. So it's pretty crazy like that on this map. I do want to have that kind of dynamic, but I also want to make it so that it's possible to build a fire at night. It's going to be a heck of a lot harder. So I want to make it so that it just has like a big chance of failure, so that you hit the make button and it just doesn't work. So you gotta like keep trying, and it just takes time to actually get it done. So anyways, this map has a make button, so you collect the items, and if you have the right items in your inventory, it'll make whatever item that is. Now in the other maps, you pick up the items, and whichever one you picked up last, I mean, they have to be in the right order. They have to be, you have to pick up the last one in the sequence, and that is what triggers it to make whatever you're trying to make. So I don't want the second one. I definitely want to have this kind of make button functionality where you hit make, like so, and you have what you have. Now in this one, you can carry your fire around. You can carry it in your backpack. pocket if you want, and just run around, collect some stuff, make a couple of spears, attack your opponents, and build a fire, or steal his fire even if you wanted to. Which is kind of cool, because, I mean, at the same time, it's like, if you spent the day building spears, oh, it's nighttime now, and you're gonna die unless you find a fire, so you hijack someone else's. Which is awesome, because, like, once you kill someone, you get all their stuff, you get their fire, you get, you know, all their items, etc. So I do really like that about this map. So we're just gonna go ahead and plop down that fire now. Energy represents your warmth, and as you can see, my warmth is now going up. It has been going down. My health has been going down as well. That's just because I'm getting hungrier and hungrier. Pretty much have to hunt for food. Now, as you can see, I do 4 to 8 damage. That's really not all that much. Wilderness animals can just come up and kill me. So I want to arm myself a little bit. I'm going to get some sticks, get a rock, and now I'm going to go hunting. Now, if I wanted to, I could go ahead and build some more advanced stuff like a bow, and then I can make arrows out of wood type of thing. But I'm just going to go ahead with this stuff. Now, with all these sticks, I do quite a bit more damage, which is really nice. But since this guy is running around, I can actually use things like this rock to stun him for a second and do a little bit more damage. So I do like that quite a bit. And now, since I have a horn, I'm going to go ahead and make a spear. Now, I can combine these sticks together to make a big stick. Don't ask me why that's realistic, but it kind of makes sense in a way in my head. I didn't make this map, but you know, it does kind of make sense to me. But I'm gonna combine these two sticks, make a big one. It does 3 instead of 2. That's why you don't want to combine them right away. But you got a big stick, your horn, and a vine. That's gonna make a spear. So now I have a spear. I can run around and kill stuff with a spear, and it does what, like plus 10 damage. Yeah, that's nice. That's real nice. So I'm just gonna go ahead, run around some more, look for some good stuff. And ooh, there's an ice. I can make an igloo if I wanted to. Now, in this map, you don't have a shelter. You don't have to worry about being tired. Actually, before I might have... No, I don't think I did. I might have called this your energy, but it's actually your warmth. Your energy represents your warmth, not your energy. Whereas on other maps, your energy is actually energy. So, you know. But in this map, you don't have to worry about energy at all, so the buildings are really just aesthetics and a way to store items so that your opponent can't just run up to your camp and steal all your stuff, which is nice, you know. I've definitely done that to people a lot. So in this map, if I wanted to, I could actually just gather up some sticks and rocks and vines and just go murder someone and steal their fire, steal their items, and just be better off. You know, that's one guy down, 9 more to go, and I have all this stuff, so I mean, that's nice. But yeah, obviously I'm playing alone. This is single player. I'm not going to worry about other people. But yeah, I do have my spear, and I can actually throw it for some damage as well. But that is a one-time use. You do not get it back once it's used. So I do want to hang on to this for now. Plus 10 damage is really nice. Alright, so I'm going to collect my meats here that I got from that elk. I don't have to worry about another player running up and grabbing it since, well, there are no other players. That's another thing you can do on this map. You know, if you see meat lying around, you can just grab it and eat it. You can eat it raw without any negatives to it, but I'm going to cook it at my fire, so I'm going to light it, and now it's all cooked. Same kind of thing I want on my map. You know, meats, all that fun stuff. Actually, I don't need that, so I'm going to save that for later. So, alright, so now I got my spear. I'm going to make a poison spear, actually, so let's grab a mushroom. You put it in the fire, you cook it, or I guess I did that wrong. Maybe it's just, wait, is it just mushroom and spear? I don't think so, no. Maybe I needed moss or something, I don't know, maybe it's in this handbook. Oh, oh well, I'm not going to worry about it, it's just a poison spear, it just poisons your opponent. He has this slow movement then and slower attack for a short time type of thing. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and make a sewing kit because that's going to allow me to get some armor and stuff like that. Let's see, what do I need? Is that right? Nope, that's not right. And actually I can get mushrooms, I didn't know that. Oh, that's not good. I see. It lies to you. It says eat for 10 hit points, but you don't get any hit points, you actually lose it. Alright, so I think it's vine, actually. Vine and bone to make a sewing kit. Yep, there's a sewing kit. Alright, so now I'm going to grab another vine, actually. Grab a vine, grab a vine. Alright, so now we're gonna look for that hide that I got from that elk. I'm gonna use every part of this animal, because that's what you should do. You don't want to waste. You don't want to give your opponent stuff to use. Alright, so I used the sewing kits with the hide and that vine, and I made a fur coat. This fur coat keeps me warm. It gives pretty much it just provides energy over time, which represents the warmth that you have. So I'll be losing my energy a lot slower now because I have that. So that's a nice thing to just have. Now, of course, if this was player against player, I would be worried about being attacked right now because, well, it would be a good time. Because, I mean, if a player had like 6 spears, he could just come and kill me. Alright, so now that it's day, and it's also on easy mode, I'm actually just not going to lose energy, or warmth at all. I keep calling it energy. I'm not going to lose any warmth at all. And that's because it's on easy again. If it was on hard, then I would be losing energy still, and that would suck. Because I want to, pretty much right now, I just want to run around and get some good stuff. Let's see, what is in this handbook? Torch. Oh, I forgot about the torch. You can actually set the torches on the ground and just have a nice, like, beacon of light. And that's just a good way of providing vision for yourself. Let's see, poison paste and bone is darts, poison darts. Barrel of explosives, that takes a while to build. I'm not going to build that right now. Alright, so I'm actually going to build a tavern. Now this is much more high-tech type stuff. It takes a while to get. I like to say that there's 3 different tiers. Like there's the basic stuff that you run around and grab, like the sticks and rocks and stuff. That's tier 1. And then you have your second tier, which is stuff like spears. You need to kill some elk to get some spears. You need to find a vine and 2 sticks for it. So it does take a little bit longer to get. That would, you know, take longer than obviously just picking something up. So you can do it that way, grab some spears, and then go kill your opponents. Or you can use your just natural stuff around on the ground to kill your opponents. Or you can tech up and get things like a tavern, which provide drinks that give you like special stuff, like you can make Mountain Dew, makes you super fast. Or you can make Scotch on the rocks, which just makes you attack really fast, and there's also some negative ones, stuff like that. So you know, it's a fun thing to play around with the tavern. You know, you get to make all these cool drinks. It doesn't tell you how to make them. You know, just combine stuff in it, and you get a drink. And that can be either be a positive drink or a negative drink. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and combine some of the sticks together to make big sticks. And 3 big sticks to make a barrel. And I just remember this because I just played this map to, you know, test it out. Or not to test it out, play this a million times, but just to remember things a little bit better for this video demo. Oh, there's a rock that I missed. Grab that rock. I just need 1 more rock, and then we got a tavern. It looks really easy, but again, this is on easy mode. I do want to make it a little bit harder to get something like a tavern on my map. You know, in this map, in multiplayer mode, you know, it does take a little while to actually build a tavern and then build a drink and stuff like that. So, you know, you can't expect your opponents to just like attack you with a couple of drinks and some spears and like kill you. You know, that's just not going to happen until later on. So we're not going to worry about that. Just gonna eat this meat raw so I don't waste it. And if you don't eat it raw in multiplayer mode, your opponent will just find it, eat it, and all that. So that sucks. Because if your opponent's running for his life and you're trying to kill him, and he finds meat that you left behind, he's gonna be like good again to attack. You know, that's gonna suck. Oh, that's right. I already got my brewery tavern thing. I was collecting rocks still. All right. Well, we can place that down. Oops. Forgot to feed my fire. I'm gonna have to make a new one. Well, you might as well go ahead and like go to another area now, because there's gonna be less resources since I've been collecting them all this time. I'm gonna be leaving that sewing kit behind. That's all right. I'll just get another one if I need it. So I do want to explain the dynamic of how the game works. How this one works and how I want my map to work in player against player mode. Basically, early on you can go and set out to kill your opponents, all of them, early on with just rocks and vines and sticks and stuff. I've done that a million times. It works. It's awesome. But if you run into a good player that knows what he's doing, that's not going to work. You know, just like in StarCraft, like in Ladder. Oh, here's the guy that wants to fight. Let's kill him. Now, this guy's not a threat at all because I got that spear. Alright. Ooh, okay, it's nighttime. I don't have a fire. Luckily, it is indeed easy mode, so I think I'll actually have enough energy to survive a night, as long as I build a fire afterwards. But alright, so I could go set out and kill my opponent if I had any right now, with just rocks and stuff, or I could tech up, get a spear, stuff like that. That's pretty much the second tier, and you can set out to kill your opponent then. So I want to compare this to StarCraft Ladder. So early on, you can 6-pool someone and potentially just win the game. Except against a really good player, that's never going to work. That player is going to have enough defense to fend that off. So we're not going to, you know, that's kind of like, okay, in this game, it's kind of like, okay, a good player, even if you attack with rocks and sticks and stuff, by the time you get to where he is, by the time you find him, he's going to have enough to kill you off. So, you know, that's not going to really work. You have to be really careful with how you do that. And then you can possibly get back in the game if you are able to run away from them and build your stuff back up, you know, that kind of thing. Or you can tech up, hit spears and stuff, or, you know, if you attack your opponents and, you know, he has spears, he's, you know, because by the time you get there, he might actually have spears, then he'll just kill you, or you could, you know, if you know, spears are nice, they're like the middle ground, the middle part of the game. Spears and bows, stuff like that, all that fun stuff. And then, as the game progresses, you know, in StarCraft, you know, the tier 2 would be like having like a factory, building tanks, stuff like that, you know, attacking with like 2 bases, you know, stuff at like 12 minutes in the game. And then you got your late game stuff like Broodlords, you know, big fat armies with like 3 or 4 bases, you know, whatever else, you know, Ultralisks, carriers, whatever you want to consider late game. And I do want the same kind of thing here, you know, and that's actually very true on this map. You can build a gun, which pretty much brings your opponent down to like 3 hit points, you know, and then he'll slowly starve or something, you know. So I mean, you could bring him down with a gun and throw a spear at him and he's dead, and that's it. But it takes a while to get that gun, because you have to combine a bunch of items that are hard to find. You need a bunch of things to do it. So it does take a while to get up there and do that. Likewise with the Tavern, same kind of thing. It takes a while to find all the items to do so. Sometimes you get lucky and it's just like right there, but on my map I do want to make it a pretty long struggle to get it. So I'm going to just go ahead and place that Tavern down so I can make a drink here, because I am getting thirsty. So I'm actually going to put meat in here and then a rock and brew. And what do I got? Scotch on the rocks, which I already know makes me attack faster. Which is not noticeable here because this is Warcraft 3, but you can see it in here, Scotch on the rocks. Its attack rate is greatly increased, so that's nice, you know. Alright, so I'm going to combine a meat and a stick. Let's see what we get. Bloody Mary. What does a Bloody Mary do? Let's drink it and find out. Its attack rate and movement speed are increased. Combine that with the other one that I drank. It's actually gone already. You get, I think you actually get 2 effects. I don't know, maybe you only get 1, maybe it cancels out, I'm not sure. But anyways, this is just the fun dynamics of the game, making brewed drinks, you know. So you can make one that's just gonna harm you, type of thing. You know, like you can just make one and drink it, and then it just, you know, you drink it at the wrong time, your opponent comes and kills you, you know, type of thing. So you gotta be careful. I'm actually gonna take this scotch and combine it with a bone. Now we have bone cocktail. Since I played this map a lot, I already know that it's pretty much like you take one item and you combine it with something else. Then, like for example, if I combine a rock with anything else, I'll get a scotch on the rocks. If I combine a meat with anything else other than a rock, I'll get a Bloody Mary. If I combine, you know, it works like that. So it's like whatever item is the main item plus whatever else, and then as long as it doesn't interfere with another thing, and then you get that. So I have a bone cocktail. I think it gives armor. Yeah, I just got 20 armor. So you can make drinks like that. That's really nice to have, especially if you're loaded up with spears and stuff. You know, go out and kill your opponent that way. Now, normally on this map, there is an ability here that if you click it, it pings the location of your opponents. Now, and that's the free-for-all version. This is actually the team version, because the free-for-all version no longer works on Warcraft 3. You can't even see it on the list of your games, and that's Blizzard's fault. It really sucks because that map is awesome. I was just lucky enough to find this one that actually does work, so I'm really glad and relieved that I did that. I'm gonna actually build a fire here just to play it safe, make sure I don't die. There we go. Alright, so now I'm gonna collect a few more things. Oh, okay, I'll show you this. This is something I do want to incorporate on my map in some shape, way, or form. I'm not sure how exactly. But you know, earlier on, you kind of saw the vines, like you could throw a vine at someone and it entangles them for like a second. Now, if you combine two vines together, you get a net, and with this net, you're able to tame rabbits. And now this rabbit is mine for the rest of the game until he dies, which is awesome, or until someone else takes it. So, this rabbit can actually carry one item, and if I want to, he actually has a gather ability. So let's just turn that on. He starts gathering stuff for me, which is really, really freaking awesome, if you ask me. But I don't want it quite that ridiculous, but it would be cool to be able to tame a rabbit and use it on the map, type of thing. So I think it'd be, you know, just to, you know, be able to spot stuff, like if you had a rabbit out here. And that's actually how I used to play. You know, there's actually a lot of strategy on this map. You put like a rabbit here or something, and then if your opponent's coming to kill you and he walks down this path, then it's like, oh, my opponent's coming, I can ready myself for the attack and kill him off. I don't have to worry about, you know, anything else, type of thing. So I mean, that's really freaking nice to have that kind of early warning system. Goodbye, owl. I'm actually going to cook this meat because I need some health. So I do want to incorporate an early warning detection system like that. In terms of the ping thing for finding players, I do want something like that, but more in the higher tech category where it takes a while to get it, type of thing. Maybe you have to build a workshop first, and then you have to gather items for that. You know, so that's what I'd consider higher tech. Like you have to build a building even before you can even make it. On this map, it just takes more items. Like for example, the Tavern just needed 6 6 sticks and 3 rocks. So I mean that means that that's a lot of sticks. You have to go and find all those sticks. So I'm actually gonna feed this fire. There we go. Alright. So I do want to have that kind of thing in a way. Just have a building, you know, like, oh, you have to build this entire building before you can even do it, type of thing. So it takes even a little bit longer, so you get a slightly bigger buffer with that type of thing. So anyways, I'm not going to build too much else. There is a leather coat I could build. I just figured out how to build it. So I'm not going to really bother too much with that. But it pretty much takes any ranged attack and halves it. And that thing stacks. So you can do things like, okay, like a player, like some decent players would be like, oh, I want to make the shotgun. So what I'm going to do is just make a shotgun and a whole bunch of rounds and just go around and kill as many people as I can. And that works. That works. I'd say, like, if this was StarCraft, that would be like the diamond level. But if you really know the game, and I actually really knew this game pretty darn well, I can't lie about that because I actually knew a lot about this game. I knew a lot of strategy about this game. If you're someone like me, you know it's coming. You know that the guy with the shotgun's running around. So what you do is you equip yourself with a couple of leather armors, you know, and then that shotgun, which pretty much almost instantly kills you with one shot, now does like no damage at all. And that player would be like, okay, why didn't you die? You know, like, why didn't this guy die? And it's like, well, I got leather armor, you know, I'm good. I'm good to go, I'm just gonna kill you now. You know, so there's a nice, cool dynamic like that. And then, let's see. And then the highest tech of things, I would consider the highest tech anyway, is the explosive barrel, which takes probably the longest to build. But, here, I'm actually gonna build one, if I remember how to do it. Let's, like this. Pretty much makes sulfur by lighting sulfate crystals. Hey, what do you know? But I'm gonna go out and find some more sulfate now. Hopefully they'll just have some around. Sometimes you're actually looking for stuff for a while. Sulfate. And actually, since it's night, I have a much smaller field of view, which makes it really hard to find stuff. So to make this barrel of explosives, you pretty much just make a barrel, and the barrel is actually what I used to make a tavern. I made the barrel, and then I combined 3 rocks with it to make a tavern. So I'm gonna use this barrel now and combine it with some sulfate, which hopefully I'll find some sticks or something too. I should have been building this before. Well, I got some sticks there. I don't know if that's gonna be enough. Maybe I'll use my rabbits to look around and see what's going on up there. Hey, look at our stick. Let's get that stick. Put that over there. Oh, I should probably do that fast. I think this is actually how you make ammo. Yeah, gunpowder and something else makes ammo. So yeah, that's why that shotgun takes a little bit longer to build. Okay, so I'm gonna need 2 more sticks, I think. And this is the annoying thing with Warcraft 3. It's like all the stuff piles up like that. Oh, there's a stick. Come on, rabbit. What are you doing over there? Probably just lagged or something. Alright, so now I got that. I'm gonna add my gunpowder. Pretty much just filling a barrel with gunpowder. And now I have a barrel of explosives. Now this was a really fun way to kill someone. And initially it's kind of like, okay, this thing just instantly kills someone. That's, you know, it is what it is. It's fun, it's cool, but at the same time it's like, okay, how do you actually defend against it? Which is what, you know, someone, you know, actually one of my good friends, I became really good friends with this person, taught me. You can survive a barrel of explosives if you have or at least 3 leather coats. 3 leather coats pretty much means you can do a lot. So I mean, if you have 3 leather coats and a barrel of explosives, you can actually plant a barrel of explosives and attack it, because normally the hit points slowly degrade until it explodes, and that's kind of like the timer. But if you have 3 leather coats, then you survive it and barely take any damage at all. This thing actually does like 1,000 damage, I think. So you can either place it in a way, or you can place it and have 3 leather coats and attack it and just kill anyone that's nearby. So that's, to me, that's really cool. Like, for example, let's say you know someone's camp is here, you can put like a barrel like in here or something where they can't really see you, and hit and run away, and they'll just explode and die. You know, that's pretty darn fun. I'll show you what it looks like, or how big the radius is, I should say. So I'm gonna place it, run away, and yeah, the hit points are slowly degrading. Now, if I wanted to, I could attack it. It only has 10 hit points. 1 hit, it goes kaboom, and everything explodes. So you gotta be really careful. Yeah, see, that's how big the freaking radius is. Yeah, so if that fire was like, if your opponent was here, he's dead. And by the way, when you kill a tree, you get lumber, so now I have a ton of lumber to make more. And I actually killed an elk with that, so I'm gonna eat this meat. Perhaps make another spear here. No, let's make a bunch. Let's see if I can find another elk or a wolf or something. The wolves are actually really uncommon on easy. It's kind of annoying. Wish there were more, because it's just a little easy. But of course it's player against player, so I don't really expect too much. Well, guess I won't find another one. It is a sad day. I just want to unload these spears on someone. Goodbye, Mr. Owl. Snowy Owl. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be able to find anyone. Oh well. Anyways, the spear does pretty good damage. And it's pretty good. So, anyways, I'm going to go over to the other map now, so you guys can see that map. Let's quit out of this one. Load it up. Load it up. gonna show you the troll tribes, but that's kind of, it takes a while to play that game. It's pretty much the same as the one I'm about to show you, Caligula's, which is actually the first wilderness survival out there, period. Actually, I played a really early version of it way back in the day.
What?
Alright,
Off I go then. Yes,
the
me lord.
Alright, so
Off I
here's
go
the,
then.
you know, this is like primitive. You know, choose difficulty. Do you want 4 wolves to attack you at nights, or 3 or 2 or 1 or nothing? I'm gonna put on 4 because
Righto.
it's actually somewhat easier
Off I
with
go
4.
then.
Yes,
me
if
lord.
you know what you're doing, just because
Righto.
you get
Alright.
meat that way. It's kind of like free meat during the night, you know, like you just
Righto.
load yourself up with some
Off I go then.
things that add damage
Yes,
and
me
you're
lord.
done.
Righto.
Alright, so anyways, this one, the energy is indeed
Yes, me
tiredness. The lumber is your warmth.
Alright.
And let's see,
Off I
also
go
make sure
then.
the overlay's gone. It is. Okay, cool.
Alright.
And alright, so I'm going to combine my first thing, my fire. Alright, so I have my tinder, flint, and stick, but there is no make button. So I'm going to have to set the stick
Righto.
down, pick it back up, and
Yes,
I'll have
me
a fire.
lord.
Again, you get this tiny fire thing you can use.
Righto.
It's kind of,
Off
to
I
me, that's
go
not
then.
cool.
Alright.
But, you
Off
know,
I
mine
go
I'm just going to
then.
make it a little bit different, you know,
Righto.
however you
Yes,
like it.
me lord. Off I go then.
So I'm still wandering around.
Alright.
I'm not going to worry about that.
Off I
Caribou.
go then. Yes,
Gonna
me
be
lord.
wandering around. Now
Off
I
I go
love
then.
the. Oh
Yes,
gosh,
me
hope you
lord.
didn't see me.
Off I go then.
No,
Righto.
I don't want to go. No.
Alright.
Apparently I have to escape this. Okay,
Righto.
good. He didn't see me.
Off
That
I
is a
go
big
then.
bear. Big bears this
Yes,
early
me
on. If
lord.
you run into one, you just lose. And
Righto.
you know it's kind of it's
Off I
a
go
fun
then.
map because it's like
Yes,
oh you
me
just
lord.
instantly lost, but it's still
Off I go
awesome.
then.
You know, it's not like a
Alright.
map where it's just like oh that sucks. This is
Righto.
dumb. I don't want to play this anymore. It's kind of like oh it's oh
Off I
gosh.
go then.
This bear's gonna own me. If you run, the bear's faster than you, he's gonna kill you. Alright, thankfully he
Inventory
didn't kill me.
Yes, me lord.
Alright, I'm gonna just go ahead and plap my fire down
Alright.
there.
Off I go
I'm
then.
gonna cook this meat. The cooked meat, or actually the raw meat I should say, works a little bit
Alright.
differently. It's actually like a carcass on the ground you can't pick up unless you do the get meat. So you can actually hold 6 slots plus uncooked meat, and you can still eat it raw. But yeah, I'm just gonna
Job done.
cook it with my fire. So yeah,
What
you get
is
this
it?
nice cooked meats.
Yes, me lord.
Custom item.
Right.
Sorry, that took a little while. Alright, so I'm gonna build my
Off I go
shelter
then.
now just to make sure I have one.
Yes, me lord.
Rock, stick,
Righto.
stick, tiny shelter. Now on this
Alright.
one, it actually gives you the recipes on
Can I
at the back
help
here,
you?
so I'm gonna hotkey
Take
these.
your time. Help
Actually,
around.
you can't hotkey them because
Take
they're
your time.
not
Look
yours.
around.
So I'm just gonna peruse this a real fast.
Yes, me
Alright.
lord.
And
Yes,
also in
me
this
lord.
one, there is these
If you want.
breakable roots, loose roots that pretty much make
Whoa,
a bridge
what?
across the way here, which I think is really cool. You know, kind of adds something to the game,
What?
especially in
Off I go
player
then.
against nature type style.
Alright. Job's done. Righto.
So my hut is done.
Alright.
Oh, it's on fire
Off
because it's
I
too
go
close
then.
to the fire. Oh, darn it. I'm going to have to make a new one. That sucks. Yeah, you place it too close to the fire and the fire burns it down.
Yes, me
That's kind of
lord.
nice.
Righto.
I do like that realism added to it.
Off I go then.
So now I'm going to have to find some more wood.
Alright. Off I
So I
go
don't
then.
run into any creatures out
Yes, me lord. Righto.
And yeah, this game's a little more
What?
slow going. It's more like
Off I
think
go
about what you're
then.
doing and make sure you don't screw up type of game.
Righto.
If you
Yes,
like
me
forget to bring some sticks and things to
Righto.
defend with, you're just gonna die.
Off
You're
I
running into
go
a
then.
bear. Luckily,
Alright.
last time I had
Righto.
you know a couple
Yes,
of sticks,
me
I
lord.
think,
Alright.
for that kind of
Yes,
defense.
me lord.
In this one, you actually
Off
get
I
a
go
bunch
then.
of extra damage from
Righto.
what's it called?
Yes,
Whoops.
me lord.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I made a shelter by
Alright.
accident.
Righto.
You get +4 damage from bones. You get +2 from sticks. So bones are awesome.
What is it?
Oh, and it's
Off I
night. I need
go
to get some
then.
bones. Which sounds crazy, like, oh, I gotta get some bones to defend, but it's
Righto.
actually making a lot of sense.
Yes, me lord.
Hopefully I'll have enough hit points and
Off I
stuff
go then.
to survive. I think
Yes,
this thing
me lord.
actually blocks, yeah, that
Off I
blocks,
go
which is
then.
maybe okay. Not sure. Oh, here comes a
What?
wolf. Now, the wolves that attack you are actually the wolf pups, which is
What
nice.
is it?
Because they aren't, like, super strong like the
Alright.
bigger wolf counterpart. So you get some good meat out of
What?
here. Now, that was only one.
Righto.
I think I put it on insane. So there
Off
should
I
be
go
3
then.
more.
Yes,
Come on,
me
wolves.
lord.
Oh, and then you get a
All
bone per
right.
wolf, so it's like you get some extra
Yes, me
plus
lord.
damage. And look at that,
Job
plus
done.
8. You start with 11 to 12, and I just got plus 8.
Off I go
Like,
then.
how awesome is that?
Righto. What is it?
Oh, I think the fish are drawing me in. Yeah, a couple of issues with this map, but again, it's like one of the first wilderness survivals, so not gonna worry about it. But yeah,
What?
you can build the nets and go fishing, which is awesome. I do want like a fishing rod, or maybe I'll just have a net. I don't know. I'm kind of playing around with ideas right now. Anyone that's on my team will have a say in that, and hopefully we'll get
Yes,
a
me
good thing
lord.
going.
All right.
Let's cook some meats. Cook some meats. Eat some
What?
meats.
Yes, me lord. Off I go then.
Oh, there's some more wolves. Actually, I came at the same
That's
time.
it. I'm dead.
Now again, you can cook your meats like while you're away,
Yes, me
as long as the
lord.
meat is near the fire, type of thing.
More work. Right.
I don't really like that kind of thing. I
Yes,
feel like you
me
need to be
lord.
near the fire to use it,
Righto.
and so I do want a little bit more realism, like
All
mats, in a way. You know,
Yes, me
something that
lord.
doesn't affect gameplay and make things like annoying. You know, I think that's really
Righto.
crucial to make sure
Yes,
that things
me
are
lord.
realistic but not annoying. Like anything that you add that's for
Off I
realism
go
should
then.
not be annoying in any
All
way
right.
at all.
Righto.
Alright, so in
Alright.
this one, your rocks don't do any
Righto.
damage, you can't throw them or anything, which
Alright.
is kind of primitive, you know, but at the same time, it's kind of like rocks are hard to find in this map, and you kind of want a lot of them.
Yes, me lord. All right.
I forgot, let's pick up some meats. I don't think the antlers are
What?
used for any weapons, so I'm not going
Off
to worry
I
about
go
that.
then.
The
Yes, me
bone
lord.
plus 4 damage, whatever, I'm not worried
Righto.
about that either.
All right.
And so,
Yes,
what
me
am I looking-
lord.
Oh, I'm looking for some more rocks.
Righto.
Yeah, see, this is what
All
most of the
right.
game is, just running around looking for
Righto.
items. And thinking
All
about,
right.
okay, do I have enough
Yes, me lord.
warmth? Do I have enough energy? Do I have
Righto.
enough hit points? If I run into a bear, am I
All
gonna
right.
die?
Inventory is full.
Righto.
Let's just drop that bone.
Yes, me
I
lord.
need one more rock.
All
I think.
right. Yes, me lord. All right.
So this one is very
Yes, me
basic.
lord.
I just like the feel of
Off I
it.
go then.
And I perhaps want to make my version a little
All
bit more
right.
difficult. Like, maybe this would be the easy mode of my version.
Righto.
And then you have your more difficult, normal, and then hard, and then possibly one after that even. So
Off I go
I do want to
then.
make it so that
All right.
you know, as you play, you
Yes,
get
me
better,
lord.
and then as you get better,
All
you
right.
can advance your difficulty.
Off I go then.
So
Yes,
now in
me
this
lord.
one, similar to the troll
All
troll
right.
tribes, you
Yes, me lord.
can make a workshop, and this
All
workshop
right.
lets you build
Off I
things
go
like
then.
it's pretty much
Yes,
like your
me
sewing
lord.
kit, except you build
Off I
weapons
go
with it
then.
also. So there's
Righto.
a lot you can actually
Alright.
make on this map. And there's even more
Yes,
on the
me
troll
lord.
tribes. So you know, if you really like building stuff, you can play the troll
Off I go
troll
then.
tribes. Like there's island trolls, there's ice trolls, and then there's jungle trolls. I think the jungle one became the most popular,
Righto.
but I think the ice one is the best personally, just because
Yes,
it doesn't
lord.
have as many items.
All right.
Just because
Righto.
in island and in jungle, it's like you get like a million freaking
All
items.
right.
And it's like I just want to freaking go out and kill
Yes,
my opponents
lord.
already, because you're playing the game for like 2 hours.
Righto.
And it's like I
Off
just
I
want
go
to
then.
end it finally.
Righto.
So if you like just sitting there and building stuff, that's a
Off
good
I
map.
go then.
You know, especially the jungle one. There's a ton of stuff you can get.
Yes,
The island
me
one,
lord.
it's kind of like you level up and stuff. It's a little bit more
Off I
interesting.
go
That's
then.
why I think people like it.
Yes, me lord.
But the ice one is a little bit more basic.
Off I
There's
go
less
then.
stuff you can build. It takes less time to actually build stuff. And then you can just get on with killing people a lot faster.
Yes, me lord.
So let's eat our cooked meats. Let's place our
Righto.
workshop. And I gotta look
Alright.
up some recipes for some weapons. Let's build a spear. Bone, rock, bone, rock, bone, rock. Okay, so I
What?
need 3 rocks. I got 3 rocks.
Yes, me
3
lord.
bones. Let's see if I got
Alright.
3 bones.
Righto.
I'm gonna
Off
have to
I
find
go
one
then.
more, I think.
All
is that?
right.
What is that? A penguin? Oh, that's a
What
seal.
is it?
Seal. Okay,
Righto.
bone. Thank you.
Job's done. Yes, me
Alright, so
lord.
now it's
Off I go
oh no,
then.
well, I have these 3
Alright.
sticks by coincidence.
Off I go then.
But yeah, these 3 rocks.
All right. Righto.
And I could have used some
Off I
sticks
go
actually
then.
instead of these bones, but I
All right.
think bones are a little bit easier to come
Yes,
by.
me lord.
So now I got 3 spears.
More work. Righto.
Okay, stop trying to kill the fish. You can't kill them, alright? 50 damage is pretty good. You know, that's a lot of freaking damage.
Off I go then.
And you can actually also, like you saw, I had like one meat here, one meat here. There's ways to actually stack your meats. In this one, I think you need a freezer, which you need ice for. You have to actually go out and collect ice, which is just around the map. And the other one, I forget what it is exactly, but there is a way to do it. I think you just need like a bunch of them or something like that.
Yes, me lord.
But yeah, I do want that kind of dynamic like it is on this one, where you have to build a freezer, something like that. So that on my map, it's more like, okay, I need to think now. I need to decide, should I build another freezer, or should I build a freezer, or should I build a workshop first? You know, and that should not be a decision that's just like, oh, of course the workshop first. I mean, I need weapons. It should be an instance where it's like, well, if I got a freezer, I could get, you know, stack my meats, and I wouldn't worry about dying for a long time. You know, I could go out and search for more things in a further distance, because I don't have to worry about coming back and cooking some meats. But if I get the workshop, then I can go out and kill some bears, get some meat faster, or if my opponent attacks me, I can defend easier. So I mean, I want like a choice, kind of like in StarCraft 2, where as Zerg against Terran, for example, if your Terran opponent goes for Marine Marauder, maybe you want some Banelings and some Zerglings. Those Banelings are going to be good against what your opponent has then. If my opponent goes for mech play with Hellions and stuff, maybe I want some Roaches. So it's like, okay, I need to see what my opponent's doing, and then adapt to it and change my style a little bit so that I can go out and kill him. And then maybe he catches wise that you're adapting, so he adapts again. So you got this like back and forth, you know, like who's going to have a better army compared to your opponent. Now in this one you don't obviously have an army. Maybe I'll have a way so you can train a bunch of animals, which would be actually pretty cool to, you know, train animals or tame them or whatever so they can use them. I'm actually going to die if I don't sleep, so let's sleep. Yeah.
Yes, me lord.
But I do want that same kind of back and forth thing, like, oh, I need to adapt to my opponents. Oh, he adapted to me, I need to adapt again. You know, so it's like back and forth type of thing as you tech up, just like in StarCraft. Now, in this version, you know, this is player against nature. In that mode that I'm going to have, it's not going to be, obviously, because of what my opponent's doing. It's pretty much just going to be, okay, what's better for my situation type of thing.
Alright.
So there's that as well.
Yes,
let's see,
lord.
what is the other thing?
Alright. Yes, me lord.
What was I going to say? Shoot. Oh, in my version, I do want it so that, you know, items don't just spawn randomly. It's more or less like, maybe this game you have an abundance of sticks. Maybe a shortage of rocks. And then maybe in the next game you play, you have an abundance of rocks and a shortage of sticks, type of thing. So I want like every game to be a little bit different in that way, so then players need to like really look for stuff, and then they say, you know, base their decisions on what they find. Like, hey, I could really use this right now. Maybe I want to just, you know, if I look around enough, you'll maybe realize that you can't really find enough stuff for it. So you get the other option, like that igloo, or that freezer, or the workshop situation. It's like, okay, is there enough ice around me to build a freezer even? And am I going to be looking for like half an hour to build a freaking freezer, or should I just build a workshop because I have the materials right now? So that should also play into how you play the game as well. So, you know, it is somewhat of a simple game, but I want all these dynamic aspects to it. You know, like everything should have a place in terms of what you can build and what you should build and what you're able to build. You know.
More work.
There's all that as well.
Righto.
But anyways, I think you guys get the gist of what's going on here. I pretty much just made this for the members of the team who perhaps haven't played the Wilderness Survivals of Warcraft 3. I just wanted to put together like a basic video of, okay, this is what pretty much goes on, and just talk about some things in general. If you're not on my team and if you would like to join, send me a message on se2mapster.com. Sign up, whatever. Send me a message. Assuming that you know how to, map. Don't try to message me and say, hey, I have no clue what I'm doing, but I want to help you. That's not going to be all that awesome. But if you do want to show support, we can do something like that. Message me somewhere. On StarCraft, my username is mgmagic.565. Or you can look me up on Napster, or you can send me a message through, wherever you're finding this video, if it's on YouTube or if it's on Twitch TV. Shoot me a message. Tell me that you really want to see this map, or a wilderness survival for StarCraft 2. Just because that will help me convince me that I really need to finish this, because it's gonna be awesome. Just like showing a little bit of support and showing it to other people, so that it's like, well, maybe this is a good idea. Maybe this is gonna be really kind of awesome. So, whatever you want to do, I appreciate either or. So, anyways, that's gonna wrap up this video. I hope you guys understand what's going on. I hope I explained things well enough. If you have any questions, send me a message. I will be sure to answer it. Don't worry about me not answering it, because everything goes to my email, so I check that frequently and all that. So